Hi, welcome to Shirley's cooking channel. Today we're making Guizhou pickled tomato soup. What's Guizhou pickled tomato? I'll tell you in a minute. The flavor of the soup is truly unique. It's spicy, sour, full of umami. Here are all the ingredients that we need. We have about 1 pound of pork, which I cut into thin slices, and then marinated in 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of Shaoxing wine, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, and about a teaspoon of cornstarch. You need to mix it thoroughly until the pork absorbs all the liquid. Then here comes the star of the show, Guizhou pickled tomato, about 1 cup. I made it in a traditional pickling jar. When you fill the rim of the jar with water, it will stop air from going into the jar and make it airtight. The pickled tomato is pretty easy to make. Basically, you just grind up a combination of cherry tomatoes and normal big tomatoes, as well as a bunch of red chilies, garlic, and ginger. Mix it with some strong rice wine and salt, and put the mixture into a clean, airtight jar. Let it ferment in room temperature for at least a week. I'll try to make a video of it after we finish this jar. If you don't have it, you can actually use sour kimchi and kimchi juice, plus pureed tomato and some ketchup as an alternative. And we need about 2 tablespoons of pickled red chilies. I made this jar myself, but you can buy something similar from a Chinese supermarket. Look for chopped red chilies and garlic in a jar. It won't taste exactly the same, but will work fine. For aromatics, we'll have minced garlic. I just roughly mince about 10 cloves. Some chopped coriander. I'm using 1 big stalk, and chop them finely. Chopped spring onions. I'm using 3 stalks. Separate the white parts from green parts, and roughly cut them into equal-sized parts. I'm also using some ginger, which I thinly slice into about a dozen slices. For veg, we have some bean sprouts. Just use however much you like. Some Chinese chives. I'm using a small bunch of about 6 stalks. Just cut them into equal-sized parts. And we have some spinach, about 4 stalks, also roughly cut. We'll have some Chinese noodles to go with the soup. And of course, we need some cooking oil and chicken stock. For flavoring, we'll again be needing our soy sauce. Some Sichuan peppercorn powder. You can buy some, or you can go to this video to see how to make it. I'm also using some calamansi juice, which I squeezed from 4 calamansi. You can also use 1 lime or half a lemon. And at the end of it, I'll be adding some linseed oil. Linseed is a kind of pepper that you can find in the mountains of Guizhou, Yunnan, Fujian, Taiwan, and parts of Southeast Asia. It's got a really unique floral fragrance. Linseed oil won't be very easy to find, but it's got a similar flavor profile as lemongrass and Japanese sanshaw peppers. You can definitely use them as an alternative. I'll put the full ingredient list at the end of the video. Now let's start cooking. First, heat up an iron wok until it smokes. Quickly pour in some oil, swirl it around to create a non-stick surface, and then pour it out. Now turn the heat to low and pour in some new oil. Toss in the garlic, ginger, and white parts of the spring onion. Stir fry them until the aroma is released and the garlics and onions are turning slightly golden. Now add in the pickled chili. If the pan stops sizzling, turn the heat up a bit to medium-low or medium. Stir it around until you smell the fragrance. Then pour in our pickled tomato. Now you'll smell a nice umami smell. add in the Sichuan peppercorn powder. Stir fry the mixture for about 1 minute. Add in about 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, and then pour in our chicken stock. This is a 1 liter box, and I'm using about 2/3 of it. And I'm also using about 1 cup of water to make it more soupy. Turn the heat to high and bring the soup to a boil. And then put in our pork batch by batch. Remember to separate them so they don't stick together into a big lump. Because they're pretty thin, you just need to cook them for about 2 minutes. And then we add in our spinach. Cook until they're wilted. Then we can toss in our noodles. Cook according to package. I bought some fresh thin noodles, so I just cooked them for like 15 seconds. And then add the chives and bean sprouts. They also took just 15 to 30 seconds to cook. If your noodles need longer cooking, you may want to add the spinach, chives, and bean sprouts towards the end of the noodle cooking. Finally, put in the coriander and green parts of the spring onion. And drizzle in a tiny bit of the linseed oil. It's really powerful stuff, so just a few drops would do, or else its flavor will overpower your entire wok of soup. And we are ready to serve. It really is a flavor that you've never tried. And the more you eat, the more you get addicted to the spiciness and sourness. Enjoy!
Oh, this is too big
Or,
for this.
well, obviously.
Well, I need a thing to scoop it up. This is, you can't scoop it up like this.
Carry on, you're doing well. You'll have to speed this bit up.